Welcome to another installment of Deconstructing Babylon. I'm the Discerning Clerk, and if you're not new here, you may be wondering if I do any other content. My niche, and believe me, I know it is very niche, is to deconstruct Hollywood movies from the 90s through a biblical framework. My opinions can be difficult to hear, understand, and believe me, they're sometimes very difficult to share, but they are just my opinions at the end of the day. I do plan on starting another series called Staff Picks, and it will be top 5 lists from various categories that I will share with a fellow Zennial. Rather than being based on symbolism or deconstruction, it will simply be based on viewing pleasure and audience satisfaction. If you would like to participate in Staff Picks, or if you have a recommendation for my cat Goldie has come to say hello. Sorry about that. If you would like to participate in Staff Picks, or if you have a category you would like to recommend, please leave it in the comments below. Eventually, I would also like to do a live Deconstructing Babylon, where we would watch a more current film together and discern the symbolism in real time. Until then, I will continue to put out reviews on 90s movies. Today, we will use a biblical framework to examine the signs, symbols, and storyline of the unbelievable comedy starring the unlikely duo of Arnold Schwarzenegger and Danny DeVito. And no, I'm not talking about twins. It is the lesser known, less popular Junior from 1994. Co-starring Emma Thompson. Let's see if the video movie guide gives us a good synopsis. Junior is given 3.5 stars. Arnold Schwarzenegger follows in the footsteps of Billy Crystal, Rabbit Test, as the world's first pregnant man in this light, enjoyable comedy. The big guy pokes fun at his macho image by playing an absent-minded scientist easily coerced into embryo implantation by not-so-ethical colleague Danny DeVito, a situation that complicates a budding romance with accident-prone scientist Emma Thompson. The film, which reunites Schwarzenegger and Danny DeVito with director Ivan Reitman, never quite achieves the heights of hilarity trod by twins, but it does have its moments. Rated PG-13. Okay, I had never heard of Rabbit Test before, Billy Crystal movie that they referenced. Thanks to IMDb, I could go down the rabbit hole on Rabbit Test. Sorry. It tells the story of the world's first pregnant man via pinball machine. It is the film debut of both Billy Crystal and Michael Keaton, and it is also the only writing and directing attempt by Joan Rivers. I'm sure it's loaded with symbolism, but I digress. We're here to watch the big guy have a baby. So the movie opens in a library, among the shelves of books, scanning to find our hero, Dr. Alex Hess, played by Arnold Schwarzenegger. He hears a baby crying and then finds the source.
There's a baby here.
So he startles awake after seeing dozens of babies. It was just a dream, you guys. What isn't a dream is the fact that Dr. Alex is a doctor of obstetrics and an inventor of a drug he's testing on chimps. We immediately meet Dr. Larry Arbogast, played by Danny DeVito, who is a practicing fertility specialist, as opposed to the research and development conducted on the chimps. But the two are partners on this drug, and they're presenting to the FDA for human testing.
This drug works.
The drug in question, expecting, helps keep pregnancies viable somehow. And Dr. Larry makes a passionate plea to the board.
If you could see the couples that come into my office, their pain and frustration is genuine.
Dr. Larry's ex-wife, Angela, is pregnant, and he's not the father. The way she tells him is just so blasé. He doesn't even get too upset about it. It's very strange.
He was in and out of my life very quickly.
Not quickly enough, apparently.
And it makes me wonder if their childlessness is the reason for their divorce. The doctors are rejected by the FDA, but why? If it truly is the wonder drug that they claim it is, and it helps women during pregnancy, I just wish they told us more about the drug, either what's in it or what it does. Now we meet Dr. Diana Redden, the quirky, offbeat love interest who isn't like other doctors, you guys. played by Emma Thompson.
That's not necessary.
And Dr. Diana is in the business of cryogenics.
Frozen eggs, huh?
Yes. I call it the dairy section.
So eggs are a poultry product, not a milk product, therefore not dairy. Not so smart, lady doctor. But she replaces Dr. Alex's lab to continue her research work. And while the expecting research has lost its funding, Dr. Alex decides to go back to Europe to continue his work, I guess, but Dr. Larry wants him to stay. He tells him that they can get additional funding if they can indeed do human trials.
Who says we need a woman? The experiment wouldn't have to identify the subject's sex.
Apparently, this drug is such a miracle that it can even get a man pregnant.
Well, where's your vision? Jenner infected himself with smallpox to test his vaccine.
So, Dr. Larry decides to steal an egg from Dr. Diana.
Junior.
Dr. Larry fertilizes the egg with Dr. Alex's own sperm. But the fact that Dr. Alex has to take so many female hormones along with the drug would skew the results, wouldn't they? Anyway, Dr. Larry says that he would implant the fertilized egg
In the peritoneal cavity.
which is the abdominal wall lining, and certainly isn't a replacement womb. No pregnancy could ever be viable there. Like an ectopic pregnancy, there is no room, and the environment does have to be hormonally and metabolically conducive to sustain life.
Let's put a bun in your oven.
After another strange dream with a creepy baby, Dr. Alex startles awake, and the statue in the room beside him gave me pause. I can't confirm, but it is a statue of a Roman goddess. I was thinking Diana, but possibly Venus or even Aphrodite. 4 weeks later, Dr. Alex is starting to feel the negative side effects of pregnancy.
It's morning sickness. It'll pass. Eat crackers.
My nipples are very sensitive.
Dr. Diana suspects something is going on. Meanwhile, Dr. Larry's ex, Angela, who must be nearing the halfway point in her pregnancy, wants Dr. Larry to be her baby doctor. He resists at first, but eventually relents.
Call Louise in the morning, and she'll fit you in.
And I can't help but notice how similar they make Dr. Alex and Angela appear in this scene together. It's eerie. But cut to the West Coast Pharmaceutical Convention, and Dr. Larry's motives are revealed.
That we're talking about 5 million prescriptions a year in the United States minimum.
He's not really interested in helping women, and he's not even really interested in the science. Rather, it is all about money. Sparks seem to fly between Doctors Alex and Diana. Diana is an interesting character in theology. The Romans believed her to be the goddess of the hunt, the moon, and childbirth. She was considered triune in her nature, which I find fascinating. Dr. Larry doesn't like how Dr. Alex is acting, though it would be considered perfectly normal in a healthy pregnancy.
And your hormone surges are getting out of control.
The claim is hormone surges, but he is dosing and administering the hormones himself. And a man's body can't produce those on its own unless it's the expecting doing that.
Just stop taking the expectant. The embryo will break down and be reabsorbed naturally into your body.
That's not how miscarriages work. The embryo is not absorbed into the body. It's dead fetal tissue. It has to be delivered.
Junior.
10 weeks later, Dr. Alex is still pregnant, and it shows. He's more than halfway through gestation, but how is this baby growing? Like, does expecting also grow a placenta inside the abdominal wall?
This is totally against the natural order. Guys do not have babies.
Finally, some sense! Dr. Alex actually talks like his brain is being changed in many ways. He's nothing like the stiff-necked man from the beginning.
Feel for 1 minute the sense of absolute joy and connection that carrying your baby brings, you will understand.
Listen to you.
Up till now, I have not mentioned Dr. Noah, who I suppose is the villain here, because he is the one going against expecting getting FDA approval, but he also owns the research lab.
Does my body disgust you?
No, no. no. What? Oh, no. No, I mean, I like upholstery on a man.
Oh, Angela interrupts them. Thank God. This movie's making me uncomfortable. Now these two again, with the duality, Alex and Angela.
I'm starting to believe in fate.
I think it's all part of the design. Maybe I should see a psychic.
It's very strange how he conflated those three things.
No, it's the guy I got the egg from. He called it Junior.
Dr. Larry chose his pronouns very carefully here, so as not to give away his crime. Dr. Noah suspects something. He's somehow lurking at Dr. Larry's house, but he's very understanding and even offers to help.
Listen, Larry, I'm on your side. If you guys are coloring outside the lines, I can help.
On an unrelated note, I couldn't help but notice the stencil on the kitchen cabinets in here. A very early 90s trend that my own mother did in her kitchen. Nostalgia, you know. Doctors Alex and Diana go out to dinner, and he must confess. If he loves her, he'll be honest. And he breaks the news by bringing up Edward Jenner again.
You familiar with the works of Edward Jenner?
Now, thanks to the internet, I could confirm this information. Jenner, in fact, is called the father of immunology, thanks to his discovery and use of live vaccines. However, given the obvious transgender ideation going on here, I couldn't help but think of Bruce Jenner, who was a football athlete, gold medal Olympian, strong and virile, the father of 6 children. He would transition to Caitlyn Jenner 20 years after this movie comes out. Anyway, Dr. Diana confesses to freezing one of her own eggs as part of the cryogenic research she's conducting.
It's in the dairy section, under Junior.
Plot twist, you guys. She's the mum. Speaking of mums, Angela's having a rough go. And while Dr. Larry has been hating on the band members of Aerosmith, Angela confesses the father of her baby is their personal trainer.
He's not in the band, he's their personal trainer.
Which we all know is Babylon code for handler. But they tell Angela the truth, and she takes it pretty well.
He's pregnant.
Dr. Noah is closing in on the deceiving duo with some new information.
This is more like the amount you'd take, say, preparing for a sex change operation.
If that were true, we would see a lot more physical changes in Dr. Alex, like his voice pitch, and he would develop breasts. He should start to look like an abomination. And he finally tells Dr. Diana the truth.
So you borrowed one from your dairy section. It's Junior.
My Junior.
I'm not a feminist by any means, but I'm inclined to agree with Dr. Diana on this.
You think men don't hold enough cards? You have to take this away from us as well?
Men and women are different. We have different strengths that when they come together in a healthy way, that's how God intended marriage. Dr. Noah intends to capitalize on the science of the world's first pregnant man, as is his right. Since Doctors Alex and Larry have continued to make expecting using Dr. Noah's lab and ingredients, really that's his baby.
You and your baby are university property now.
Dr. Alex gets away, and Dr. Larry brings him in drag to a long-term facility to finish out his pregnancy. Dr. Alex then proceeds to explain why he looks like a man.
I was a sportswoman on the East German Olympic track and field team. They dispensed anabolic steroids as freely as here in America they dole out Gatorade.
But it just feels more like the humiliation rituals of the mystery religions. Another strange statue by the pregnant man, this time a ceramic pillow. Pregnant women would indeed lay on said pillow to encourage dreams of a healthy baby and could in fact influence their child in utero. Amidst this montage of Dr. Alex being a woman, Dylan Mulvaney could never. They also show a reluctant Dr. Diana eating an apple. Just something I noticed. She shows up at Casitas Madres to confront Dr. Alex. She's persuaded by his words over the phone, but seeing him in person makes her angry again.
can we just get one thing straight here? This is my baby too. Don't you ever forget that.
Everyone wants to lay claim to this baby Junior. Dr. Diana relents and sleeps with Dr. Alex. I mean, can he even achieve an erection right now with all the female hormones he's taking? I doubt that was a satisfactory experience for anyone involved, let alone the baby who would normally be protected behind the abdominal wall. But I digress. Dr. Alex goes into labor, I guess, though he really can't, theoretically. They would just adjust the drug and hormones and schedule a C-section for delivery. Labor is the cervix dilating, and men don't have cervices, so something must be wrong with the baby. Dr. Larry rushes Alex to the clinic for the surgery, but Dr. Noah has already intercepted thanks to a mole at the clinic. Luckily, they already have access to an amenable, full-term pregnant woman in Angela.
Hi, Mom!
And while they dupe the cameras in front, Doctors Alex and Diana sneak in through the back. And then Dr. Noah gets fired for his perceived foolishness.
He's having a baby, Edward. I swear it.
You're fired.
Dr. Alex is prepped for surgery, while Angela goes into labor.
It's a girl. It's a boy.
Dr. Larry and Angela are a family again. Doctors Alex and Diana actually name their baby Junior.
What should we call her?
Junior.
1 year later, and the babies are thriving. Dr. Diana is expecting, and that's the end. Never mind that Junior is actually a medical marvel who is developing normally, and it's just fine. Nobody else at the research lab caught on to what was happening. Final thoughts. I did not expect this movie to be scientifically accurate by any means. I understand it was made in part as a humiliation ritual for actor turned governor Arnold Schwarzenegger. Also a strategy to introduce this idea of a man being pregnant and having babies, which is widely accepted now 30 years later. A big dude in a dress is always funny, and if we can laugh at the idea of a masculine man getting pregnant and having babies, then it makes what we're seeing now in reality that much more scary, because they told us they were going to do it. And they also told us how they're going to do it, have done it, are doing it. Pharmaceuticals. The fertility specialist that tells you this drug is safe and effective, that he really cares about you, is really just in it for the almighty dollar. Not to mention the veneration of vaccines. Like, I'm over it. The name Junior is actually an adjective that is neither masculine nor feminine, yet due to its subordinate nature indicates a senior. Who is the senior? The egg is Diana's, the seed is Alex's, yet it is conceived by Noah's science and matured in Larry's greed. Neither does this film feel either masculine or feminine. They've dressed the women in more masculine outfits by design, but it's meant to subvert the stereotype and blur the gender lines and make everything very neutral. Dr. Diana Redden is still something of a mystery. I brought her up earlier. We know her as mythology, but the truth is, she is named in the book of Acts as the cause of riots in the city of Ephesus. She is no mere myth, but a powerful principality. She is called Artemis in Greek. Her twin is Apollo, god of the sun, god of healing, among other things. He is also called Alexikakis by the Athenians for averting the plagues. Diana and Alex, Artemis and Apollo, not husband and wife, but brother and sister. Their baby is an abomination. Overall, I think this movie needs to be re-edited as a horror film, because that's what it is. Eggs are not dairy. Men can't get pregnant. Babies are born from water. Danny DeVito is short. God is love. These are truths. Don't be deceived. even now. They've laid the groundwork so their lies will be accepted and believed. Know the way, the truth, and the life, and be set free. Thank you so much for watching. Give it a thumbs up if you liked it, thumbs down if you didn't. Subscribe if you want to, but don't follow me. Follow the one who saves you. See you in the next one.
Does my body disgust you?